Welcome to day 23, which is called The Magical Air That You Breathe. So I'm back home now, which you'll probably be able to hear the traffic and birds and aeroplanes. But yeah, it's good to be back. But I did love Devon and just the sort of different pace of life they seem to have. On cue, oh my gosh. The aeroplane's back over, honestly. You wouldn't believe it's about 8 o'clock in the morning and I don't know. Anyway, but yeah, in Devon they seem to have a different pace of life, and that's not to say it's slower, it's just different to city life. I'd sit out on the balcony at like 6 o'clock in the morning and there'd be all these people out already on the water, either setting off to fish in their little boat or paddleboarding. I'd sit there and think that means they would have had to got up in the middle of the night to get out here on their board before breakfast. And there was me patting myself on the back that I'd still be up early even though I was off work. So it just goes to prove that there's always time to fit in what you love doing. So if it's paddleboarding or getting your little light aircraft out, which obviously he does every morning, then you should just do it. That's my words of encouragement for today. Do it. So today is all about stopping every so often and noticing your breathing. That doesn't mean to say you have to sit and take deep breaths or sit cross-legged anywhere, but you're just noticing the fact that we are breathing all the time. I'm out in the garden doing this, as you know, so hopefully you get a chance to be outside at some point too. So the quote goes, "It is quite possible to leave your home for a walk in the early morning air and return a different person, beguiled, enchanted." And that is by Mary Ellen Chase. So there is nothing truer than that, I don't think. Walking is my go-to. It always makes you feel better. Whatever's troubling you, I'll go for a walk. And also, I think all great thoughts are conceived by walking. So you just never know. You might come up with something that changes your life when you're out and about. So she says, if someone had told me, Rhonda that is, a few years back to be grateful for the air that I breathe, I would have thought that person was crazy. It wouldn't have made a bit of sense to me. Why on earth would anyone be grateful for the air that they breathe? I think since COVID though and masks, we're probably all more aware of how much we took free breathing for granted. But she's right, we don't that often stop and think about it. She says, but my life changed when the things I didn't give a second thought about became an absolute miracle to me. I went from sweating the small stuff in my little world to opening my eyes and thinking about the bigger picture. So she then goes on to talk a bit about science, but says, after that, the air that you breathe is not an accident or fluke of nature. When you think about the enormousness of what had to take place in the universe for us to have air, and you then take a breath, breathing air into your body becomes breathtaking in every sense of the word. So the other week, remember when we had that 40 degrees heat wave? The air was so stifling and at times you felt like you couldn't breathe and you had to kind of stop yourself from panicking. Did you feel like that? It is not a nice feeling. I had to put out a "has anyone got a fan" SOS out around the courtyard. In fact, that was my rock for that day, that someone lent me a fan. I was very, very grateful. Today, stop and think about the glorious air that you breathe. Take 5 deliberate breaths and feel the feeling of the air moving inside your body and feel the joy of breathing it out. Take 5 full breaths in and out 5 different times today. And after you've taken each set of 5 breaths, say thank you. It is best if you can do this practice outside so you can really feel and appreciate the magnificence of, that word again, of fresh air. But if it's not possible, then do it inside. Obviously, Rhonda. Oh, funny. You can close your eyes while taking the breaths, or you can do it with your eyes open. I think you can do it while you're walking, shopping, or anywhere or anytime you want. The important thing is to deliberately feel the feeling of the air going in and out of your body. So, relatively short one today, that is it. The summary is you count your blessings, make a list of 10, write why you're grateful, remember. 5 times today, stop and think about the glorious air that you breathe. Take 5 deliberate breaths and feel the feeling of the air moving inside your body. After you have taken the 5 breaths, say thank you for the magical air that I breathe. That is a sentence you can use if you so wish. And then just before you go to sleep tonight, hold your magic rock and say the magic words. Thank you for the best thing that has happened during the day. So I'm going to do my first 5 now, out in the garden, first thing in the morning, where I can see the sun and the moon at the same time. I love that when that happens. And then I need to remember for the rest of the day a time to do it another 4 times. So enjoy your time out in the fresh air, and I shall see you tomorrow. We're almost there. Can you believe we're on day 23? We're almost at the end. See you then.